I'm holding a Breyer horse that I got when I was 10 years old. I actually got him as a used horse, and I didn't know what his name was. But he was the model called Proud Arabian Stallion in the Breyer catalog. And it wasn't until many years later when I started researching the perfect horse that I learned that there had been a Breyer horse model made of one of the characters in my book, Witez II. And Witez II was an Arabian who was born in Poland, and he had an unbelievable life story. Born on the eastern border of Poland, he ended up the rest of his life in Southern California. And it turned out that this Arabian stallion, who was one of my favorite Breyer horses that I played with when I was a little girl, was actually modeled on that horse, Witez II. And I think that's an extraordinary coincidence. When I was a little girl, I think that I was very much like any horse crazy girl. I got my taste for horses. A lot of it was from reading books, and I still remember the day that I read The Black Stallion. I remember being in my room, lying on my bed, and turning the pages and imagining that I was with the Arabians who were in a shipwreck. And so that's where the fascination began. And then I started to become interested in these Breyer model horses. I had a whole lot of them, and I had little saddles and bridles and even a little stable that I used to play with, and I would imagine them. Then I started imagining that I was a horse, and I would run around the backyard jumping pretend courses, and I was lucky enough to learn how to ride when I was 7 years old. But there's something about that the dreams that I had when I was little, when I was imagining and thinking about horses and imagining what their life stories were. It's been a real special thing for me that as a historian I've been able to go in and delve in and find out what some of the true stories are that are behind these horses, because what I've found is that very often their stories really were just as dramatic as the stories that I read when I was a girl. These incredible stories of endurance and heroics, and not just from the horses but from the people also who would go to great lengths to save them. Sometimes I feel like we can almost understand the horror of war better when we see it through the lens of the people and the horses.